Hello and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Last time we did a bunch of stuff on these planets for development and stuff, which we still gotta do. But once we start putting in more, what I'll do is I gotta get more with that. We're in the system where we got to investigate a signal, I think, and then also there's another thing happening. I can't remember exactly what. But yeah, let's start to do some of these more projects. What can we get? More crit with macro cans and everything, get security. Could be good. My security, but I get people. I have so many people though. Promethium. Nope, I'm good on Promethium. Profit factor and efficiency would be good. Mechanisms and phlogiston to get plasteel and adamantine. I'm low on adamantine, but the other ones I'm low on too, so I'll do this one. The rogue trader may grant the convicts the right to buy with their labor the freedom of their children born in captivity. Fair enough. Oh, it happened right away. I can do another one. I guess people for Prometheus. No, I'm gonna save people for the one order, because I think it was Winter Scale wants people in exchange for other things, so I'll do that because I have so many at this point. Profit factor in people. Security for everybody, people, and familial armor. It's power armor. Gives them plus 15 strength. Power armor would be for the Space Wolf guy, I think. What's this? Flagship restores 33% to the cooldown of ultimate abilities at the end of space combat. Red warp roots always become orange. Interesting. And that, I have everything that's free. +2 plating to all sectors. And I get a bunch of stuff. Okay, that's fair. Since I have all the requirements for this one and my profit factor is high, by declaring Dargonis the defense center of the Coronis Expanse, the rogue trader will be able to requisition foreign vessels and collect additional resources from the population. Oh, and I can do another one. I'll do this one. The great freedom accorded by the Imperial Navy allowed the mustering of an impressive independent squadron, not classified as pirates. I can do it again. I got a bunch of weapons. It's time for Dargonis nobility to forget their feuds and take up arms in defense of their native world. How far can I go? Plasteel and adamantine. I'm low on adamantine. I'll take this one. The date for the payment of the tithe approaches. However, by making use of the corrupt practices of the administratum, one could find a way to keep both the psychers and the thrones. 2 of all of those, which I could do for that and that. I think I have max on everything. Yeah, so that's kind of useless right now. I'll come back to you. Now we're on Janus. Can pay for people for profit factor and that. My complacency will go to 1, but that's fine. The large increase in tithes may be supplemented by a decree that addresses the current shortfalls in other ways. And what's this? You have a gamma. Give a bunch of those, which the lowest I have is chemicals and phlogiston. For security and efficiency. I have a bunch. Yeah, it has everything besides complacency. Profit factor and Imperial Navy rep for all of that. Ooh. Mechanisms for profit. Memory of the Daring. Provides 125 points of protection for each sector, and it's doubled against kinetic. That's higher than I have. Provides Void Shield weapons with targeting data, granting 92% hit chance and 15% critical hit chance. What's this? People, which I got a bunch, and weapons, which I could spare. For that, Imperial Navy rep and a bunch of mechanisms, which I need. Okay. The Imperial Navy has sustained heavy losses. They are willing to provide valuable machinery in exchange for trained tech priests. Okay. And this, I don't have enough with the Drusians. I get a bunch of people. Macro cannons. I mean, I could try that one. People for Promethium. That's a good one too. We'll do that. Trans-uranium's value is such that its open pit mining will be worth the thousands of lives lost to radiation exposure. We'll do this one, because I got enough now. An entire planetary regiment of martyr guardsmen, a gift from the rogue trader to the Kronos Expanse in its darkest hour. Acquiring captives from the enemies of humanity for use in forced labor is a possible way to replenish the workforce. Okay. Mechanisms and phlogiston for plasteel and adamantium. I'll take it, sure. The blessed hydraulic installation of the Adeptus Mechanicus will crush the greedy bowels of the earth, freeing the priceless minerals within that the Imperium so desperately needs. Now we just have to do other things on other worlds, it looks like, and have more with the Drusians. And a Fellowship of the Void. Got it. Okay, we can do that. Dargonus is crying out for aid. Riots over the interpretation of scripture have broken out in several hives across the world. While hunting for the agents of the Cult of the Final Dawn, the Ecclesiarchy clamped down on the planet's minor cults, attempting to force correct adherence to the creed upon the populace. The commoners grumble about the oppression of the minor cults, even daring to claim that the holy ecclesiarchs have assumed the sole right to speak for the God Emperor. Agents report that the disgruntled are actively negotiating with the wasteland dwellers, the remains of the so-called Foreman clan, and it seems the wastelanders are willing to offer their support. The enforcers and the agents of the ecclesiarchy have been able to curb the malcontents so far, but division grows wider by the day. Why are the foremen involved in this as well? A great question. This group does not come up in the reports from the capital world rather often. I can assume that this is due to the fact that their now ruined home, Siopone, they used to have a prevalent, more simplistic form of revering the Emperor. The preachers there used to teach the Siopians the importance of hard work and of labor, collective, familial unity, but seldom the importance of order and hierarchy. They offered their congregation a form of faith that was as simple and cheap and convenient and functional as their work clothes. And now they seem to think that the priests who wallow in luxury want to take this away from them. Is there any reason to believe that the disturbances are inspired by heretics? Thankfully, no, your lordship. The rabble-rousers zealously oppose heresy, fill the ranks of the planetary guard with new recruits, regularly outperform quotas, and attend prayer service. The Foreman clan has been actively involved in uncovering the underground devotees of the ruinous powers and has discovered 2 large, successfully operating cells. Our agents are quite confident that the likelihood of them harboring agents of the cult of the Final Dawn is far lower than in any other segments of the population. What my advisors think. Small deviances in the creed beget large ones, and large ones beget heresy. Our faith is founded upon absolute trust in those above, and if people's belief push them towards descent, then those beliefs have been wicked from the very beginning. Okay, sorry. But that does not necessarily make the preachers themselves wicked, perhaps simply misguided. We could pass them into the ecclesiarchy's care for re-education, so that they may see the truth, and it would also guarantee their flock's obedience. Perhaps you should stop allowing the fat cardinals and their servants to do whatever they want to your people. Rein them in. Faith in the Exalted One is not contained within ranks and titles, but within the hearts and hands of the common people. And even this can take many forms as well. Let those who shoulder the welfare of Dargonis at least choose in which manner they pray to him. Take the minor cults under your protection. Those who wish to worship him in their own way must prove their right to do so. The only help that would be proper in this situation is to provide instruction. Send one of the spinners to show them how they can defend themselves. They will either take up arms and protect their faith or bow down. Detain the preachers of these troublemakers and send them to be re-educated. Get security. They cannot use psychic or navigator powers. The wearer gains a 145% chance to ignore damage from psychic and navigator powers. That'd be pretty good for someone. Okay, so you can't use powers. That'd be good on Abelard. I would have said me because I wasn't a psyker until just recently. So let's say Abelard, Cabela, Urliet, Mirazai, Urfin? I gotta learn that guy's name, the Space Wolf. And Pascal. Because it can't be on Heinrichs, Idira, Cassia, me. Oh, it could also be on, when we get him. What's his name? The guy with the dog. Our Adeptus Arbites. So that could be good on some people. That'd be good on Frontline. And we get stuff with the Drusians, which we need. Security and Death of Grace if we send a spinner. All allies gain plus awareness divided by 10% critical hit chance. The newfound death cultists on Dargonis offer nightly prayers for the Undying One to guide the rogue trader's hand to battle. The minor cults are hereby under my protection: Complacency, Fellowship of the Void, and Patron of Cults. All allies gain plus 15 lore Imperium. That could be good too. So do I want critical hit chance, lore of the Imperium, and Fellowship of the Void, or something where I just don't take psychic and navigator damage ever? That one's kind of good. But let's do this one. This one seems kind of cool too. The minor cults are hereby under my protection. Your mercy will go down in the annals of Dargonas. The common folk rejoiced at the news of their victory, scoffing at their gilded priests. They offered up a thunderous prayer for the rogue trader. Thanks to the protection of the rogue trader, the agents of the ecclesiarchy were forbidden from entering the chapels of minor cults. Awesome. Plasteel and adamantine. I could do that. All of that, which I'm gonna get low on phlogiston, but I get that and that, which I don't need. So this one's good. The patronage of architects and other artists will allow the creation of amazing and monumental works marked with the rogue trader's likeness. It looks like I'm gonna just skip this one for now and go for these. So I'll block these two. Yeah, so it's only one of these. So if I do this, provisions and weapons, which I can do, yeah, I get this. If the wearer has not moved during their turn, their cover efficiency is increased by 20% for 1 round. If the wearer moves at least 3 cells per turn, they gain plus 20% dodge for 1 round. And they gain plus 20% dodge against range attacks. Which is decent. Minus profit factor, but I get all of that on all worlds and a ton of people. The Schola Progenium, which, if you guys don't know, is basically if you get orphaned in the Warhammer universe, you go to the Schola Progenium and you're put into houses basically like what's it called, like Harry Potter. Like you go to Astra Militarum school to become a Imperial Guard. You go to the Blank school if you have that gene to become anti-psyker units. You might go into You might go into the service of a Space Marine training thing, very possibly. But sometimes you disappear and become an assassin. There's that. It's really cool, though. It's basically, oh, we're going to train you to do what we think is best. It's kind of messed up, but it's kind of cool, too. Xenotech, that's it. Whenever the wearer attacks any target in a 5-cell radius around them with a ranged weapon, this does more damage. Profit factor and Casbilica, which I probably need that one. That's a lot of respect. Promethium and mechanisms, I could do that as well and not hurt too bad. Minus factor, profit factor, Imperial Navy goes up and I get all of those. That's actually really good. And this weapon, found on a drifting ship whose crew had been slaughtered by a mysterious Xenos, holding its hilt braided with warm, still-living skin. Ooh. The weapon has an additional attack that pushes enemies away. If an enemy cannot be pushed, the wielder is pushed away instead. This deals additional plus agility bonus damage. That could be good on Cabela. That's very interesting. I'm liking that one. Because Bill Commission, probably I need that. I do not need more people, but you know what? Sure. Okay. The bravest captains will unite under the rogue trader's aegis upon offered invaluable charts and other assistance with their expeditions. The Voidfarers will repay the favor with goodwill and trophies. Society of Cartographers. Okay, and we'll do that one later. Terrible news from Dargonas. Your vigilant servants have discovered an abscess of treachery on our capital world. One has grown far too large and could rupture at any moment. The informants report that the group known as the Foreman clan, is actually a cover for a horrendous cult of genetic aberrations who currently have their people in every echelon of the hive. They are traitors to the purity of humanity. Yeah, I kind of figured. Like, it was too good to be true. Like, oh yeah, these guys are perfect. They do everything. Yeah, they just put that guise on. Apparently, their unholy sermons speak of the three sorrowful phalanges of a finger. They're Genestealer cults. Ah! I was wondering when that would pop up. What exactly did my people find out? One tenacious clerk, a Genestealer cult, was behind the rebellion on the Capitol plant. Yep. One tenacious clerk from the Administratum questioned the authenticity of the reports coming from the ruins of Siapone 84249. He personally observed the debris removal and entered the lower levels of the fallen hive. There he discovered signs that proved Siapone had been infected by the gene plague. Thousands of corpses of extra-armed abominations had been buried in a mass grave. He also found the remains of Achilles Scalander's people. It seems that they had noticed the signs of corruption, and the traitors, aiming to cover up their crimes, buried their misdeeds under the ruins of the hive. On the way back, the clerk's transport was destroyed, but he miraculously survived. Now the heretics think that they have covered their tracks once more, and so they continue their plots, oblivious and unprepared for our attack. What is this mutant plague that has affected capitalist Genestealers? A horrendous distortion of the human form. It seems that they have spread their poison by biting and enslaving their victims. Some of them are indistinguishable from normal humans, while others are disgustingly ugly. The heretics hide them away from prying eyes. They seem to be connected by a common consciousness and are absolutely loyal to the despicable cult. The astropathic choirmaster of Dargonis has suggested that the cult may be behind the extermination of the psychers on the planet. He can sense the ghost of a powerful consciousness of some sort. If they do Shadows of the Warp, that'd be bad. Shadows of the Warp basically say the Tyranids want to invade a planet with psychers on every planet because that's how you get messages out and everything. They do this thing where they basically cut off their access to the warp, and they can't call for help. They can't use any of their powers to fight back, so you literally are screwed unless someone's near. The sanctioned psychers we have gathered on Dargonis are prepared for the psychic engagement. They are disciplined, powerful, fearless, and will remain unwavering against the blows of our sinister enemy. You better hope the hive mind is not watching, but he probably is. Do those abominations look like the ones from my ship, the same cursed brood? I'm afraid so. The descriptions from Dargonis are quite similar to what we have witnessed ourselves. The same deformities, the same underhanded tactics. Either they are akin to these apparitions, or they are another branch stemming from the foul root. The Foreman clan is a cover for this disgusting cult. Indeed, they probably began by recruiting workers. It is easy to blend in with the laboring riffraff. Posing as a union of technomats, they are able to conceal their secret operations and infiltration into the upper echelons of power. Each new crisis allowed them to gain more of our trust and resources. And most despicable of all is that they have perverted our faith. They revere the God Emperor in the form of a four-armed monstrosity. Their prayers are full of hatred towards those in power and promises of a reckoning when their dreadful deity will come and equate them with their oppressors. With us, that is. Many fools and troublemakers have fallen for their lies. Praise be, it was wise not to let them into the hives on pain of death. Scurrying through the wastelands, they could only recruit the vandals dwelling there, and very few of the cult's cells managed to form inside the hives themselves. When your lordship stood up for the minor cults, they received a golden opportunity to recruit more openly to the ranks, which are now brimming with fools who have yet to realize they are partaking in a heretical conspiracy. Heinrichs, what are those mutants? They're called Genestealers, and they are not simple mutants. They are a Xenos plague that breeds inside the human brain, forever distorting their genetic makeup and enslaving them to the brood. This is much more threatening than the Drukhari fleet and ravaged the capital earlier. If they are on Dargonis, then they will try to overtake the entire planet sooner or later. The messengers of the Great Devourer, my kin can sense the shapeshifters, but you should stay vigilant. For a species as physically weak as the monkey, their arrival may spell death. I do know there's one way to tell, besides, the absolute four-armed ones, and they look creepy and bug-like. The heads of them, I forget what they're called. You can tell who they are because they're always bald. I know I might be a little discriminatory, but literally that's in the lore. So, if you have cancer and you had to get chemotherapy, if that's even in this universe, and you're bald, you might become a target for me right now. What forces disposal? The heretics mostly consist of workers, but some have infiltrated the guard as well. Their weapons are primarily made from repurposed industrial machinery. The cultists are fearless and will readily sacrifice themselves for their sake of the common goal. But the worst part is their psychic threat. We cannot even begin to gauge it. We fear that the tribes of the engine vandals will support them as well, partially influenced by the plague and partially lured by the promise of a good raid. They will. We have to act. Absolutely right. It is impossible to negotiate with these degenerates. Our only option is to completely annihilate them. We should start from the top. Should we attack decisively and quickly, or should we show our hand by bringing assault vehicles into the capital and gain an advantage in firepower? Do we quietly eliminate their leaders, or do we rain destruction upon the infected territories and cleanse them of traitors? Well, I'd be worried about that because you don't know who's who, so you'd be firing on the populace as well. Raise the people to battle and publicly proclaim war. Tell the people that the heretics are hiding among them, and the million of loyal subjects will grind the thousands of traitors to dust. May Dargonis cleanse itself of this filth. That is false. There's a thing in history called the Red Scare. I don't know if you guys know about that. It happened after Cold War, where we might have spies in our midst, and people instantly turned on each other, even if they weren't actually spies. So that we would just be turning millions on each other, and they would start shooting each other instead of the traitors. That's a bad idea. Let others sully their hands. Just one beacon, and my kinsmen will descend upon the affected hives. Perhaps they will cause some additional casualties here and there, but have no doubt none of your enemies will survive, even hiding in their little nests. The cleansing should be thorough. A good few wrecks of dead ships still linger in orbit after the day of the Xenos scum attacked your world. Command your fleet to pick them up and send them plummeting toward the nest of this spawn, trying to encroach on your domain. Since all of them are linked by a common will, we could start by launching our attack there. If the astropathic choir could drown out the voice of the brood, we would be able to launch a sudden strike and act quickly enough before the enemy could restore cohesion and alert their forces to the assault. Heinrichs is smart. That's a smart idea. That's the best idea. Because like that, okay, you wipe out the wastelands with ships, but guess what? They're still in the hive cities. With this, that would just cause a lot of death and probably strengthen and weaken. It would kill a lot of the Genestealer cults and the Drukhari, but also the Drukhari would grow fat and powerful with all this torture and suffering they could do. And my people would also get targeted probably as well. This is smart. Drown them out. Because they're going to drown our psykers out. So do it before them. And if we do this, everyone's just going to attack each other. So I'll say Heinrich's plan. Prepare a plan for a psychic assault. After this, we shall launch a surprise attack on the cult's headquarters. I'll send the Inquisition directives developed specifically for this scenario to Dargonis. At the appointed time, the enforcers started their simultaneous raids in all the hives of the capital, relying on stealth and surprise. They did not use heavy weapons of war, which is smart. At the same time, the Astropathic Choir launched a truly devastating attack on the grim psychic shadow hanging about the hives of Dargonis. This attack stunned the brood of heretics and temporarily cut off their psychic communication. But the heretics did not go down without a fight. Soon, an enraged outcry of psychic energy from the brood swept through the hives, plunging the dynasty's brave warriors into horror or bloody insanity. The Astropathic Choir managed to drown it out with their menacing chants, but this was a test of wills, and only the most disciplined and steadfast psykers withstood its sheer force. The element of surprise facilitated the swift extermination of the cult leaders, leading the rest of the heretics to lose heart. The filthy shrines of the heretics were set ablaze. Only one thing filled the rogue trader's servants with unease. Inside the cult's main temple, they found the den of some grotesquely enormous monster. It was empty. They did not find the beast. If the Emperor had been merciful to Dargonis, the monster would surely have perished in the fires that had engulfed the hives during that cycle. Got a tainted phylactery. The wielder gains critical hit chance against Xenos. Okay. And Profit Factor. We stopped it. I thought I would have to go to Dargonis and deal with it personally, but hey, that saves me a trip. I'm gonna wait on that one, because yeah. Corruption has infiltrated Veilbos 6. The cultists of the Final Dawn have agitated the convicts into a full-blown uprising, promising them a chance at escape. The planet's cargo port and guard facilities are now under siege. The cultists themselves have not joined the assault. They have scurried into the mines, deep into the tunnels that were infected with Xenos corruption not too long ago. Let them! Let them! There's all those worms. We didn't kill them all, and they'll deal with them for us, I feel like. The security post that we set up in those mining drifts reported a skirmish and then went silent. Why did the cultists head to that particular area? Unfortunately, we do not know the heretics' true objectives, but there is nary a doubt that they are pursuing a sinister and wicked goal and therefore must be stopped. What is the current situation on the surface? The overseers are trapped inside the guard facilities, and the convicts are now united by their common hatred for the dynasty and are obsessed with tales of freedom. I'd hear my advisors. Heretics seek out those who are weak of spirit and entice them with promises of salvation, but such spineless lot lacks the resolve to fight and will drop their weapons should someone give them a reason to fear. The purpose of many tactics in warfare is to sow terror into enemy ranks, and I know some of those tactics well. Make them quiver, and those weaklings will forget all about their heinous intentions. That's a good idea. We don't want to kill them because, first off, they're workers, and second off, they're being lied to. Your resources and status allow you to make use of one of the most blunt and affordable tools of all. Mercenaries. These dogs of war will storm the warp itself for the right price. Provide the overseers with some hired backup, and you can consider the crisis resolved. It is enough to kill a few to make the enemy lose their footing. Let the spinners bring death to the prominent instigators, and the rest will be intimidated. They will open themselves to an attack. Stop the riot. Casualties are of no concern. Enemies that are targeted by the wearer's psychic abilities must pass a willpower resistance test or suffer bleeding and blinded. That's kind of cool. Do Cabela's idea. All allies gain 5% dodge and 3% hit chance. Do Ulfar's idea. I like that one. The fiend of it. All allies gain plus 10 coercion. Whenever an enemy enters a 5-cell radius zone around the rogue trader or their allies, they must make a willpower resistance test or become staggered. If 2 or more allies are close enough to trigger this effect, the enemy must pass this resistance test for each of those allies. That's kind of cool. I like that. I don't know what staggered does, but I would guess it would stunt their movement and make it so they can't reach us even. Or do Abelard's mercenaries. Tempered by the quarries. After their admirable performance in the Battle of Vale 6, the mercenaries are eager to serve the rogue trader. Many are seasoned combatants who can man the void ship's cannons. All lances do more damage. Nope, I'm good. I like this one. Show my people how to instill fear in their enemies. Ha! I shall teach them some secrets of this art. Following the advice given by the formidable Space Wolf, the overseers carried out a series of reprisals and acts of intimidation, leaving behind mutilated corpses and infiltrating the rebel camp under the cover of darkness. They crushed the rebels' morale and forced them to surrender their weapons. The leaders of the conspiracy, the cultists of the Final Dawn, were confronted in the mines. They had been surrounded by a strange dark Xeno obelisk covered with glyphs, trying to awaken it from its slumber. The glyph patterns were similar to those that the mad convicts had drawn before. The monstrous construction contained enough energy to tear the planet apart. By heroically disrupting the cultist plans, the guards caused a malfunction within the terrible machine. Instead of exploding, the obelisk emitted a blistering heat wave, melting itself and turning those around it to ash. Vale 6 has been saved. Cool. Now we just gotta wait for those to get back up. Awesome. So we stopped 2 things. Now we can go to here. Sorry about that. That was a lot of reading, but I feel like that's cool. That we stopped 2 uprisings basically now. Everything's going great. Auger anomaly. Another burning world. This time the fires come from within the planet. The perpetual volcanic activity creates powerful cyclones of gases, ash clouds, and soot. Now that you see what to look for, your augurs easily locate traces of the mysterious underground constructions. Send sacred machines to explore the peculiar constructions. The operation is difficult, but proceeds without a hitch. The machines make way to the unusual constructions and return carrying priceless samples. Seemingly uninteresting, these plates and weaves of heat-resistant material cause great excitement among the tech priests. Yeah, we can put that on something. The explorers are convinced you are holding the artifacts of a unique ancient Xeno civilization. The crew is now calling the builders from the flame. These creatures were accustomed to the incredibly high temperatures of the burning worlds. They may have been a silicon-based life form or even sentient colonies of bacteria. More evidence is required if the research is to continue. We got 4 Ceremate playing. Awesome. Yeah, if we put that on our ship or something, or armor, people will just be flame resistant or even immune. I'll do that. Oh yeah, I also gotta do the one thing when I get back out. I gotta do the trades. An officer of the Augur team reports that this world, covered in thick forests and steep mountain ranges, is of no particular interest, except for one fact. A fierce battle has unfolded between a group of Xenos. A multitude of small ships are concentrated around one area, some of them heavily damaged or outright destroyed. Around the cluster of ships, scanners detect a plethora of xenoforms employing unidentified weapons and technology. Mirazai supposes that in this location, the surviving warriors of the Reaping Tempest could engage their pursuers from the other cabals that crave their deaths. The Xenos is determined to land on the planet and meet with the Drukhari from his cabal, or unceremoniously barge into the battle, whoever the enemies may be. The Xenos demand that the Lord Captain's best warriors set out with him. Let him take part in the melee alongside the assault squad. Wait for them to kill each other and then collect the spoils. Send an assault squad to the planet to destroy the Xenos and acquire their belongings. Destroy all the Xenos with a well-placed shot. I'll let him go in, sure. Let him have fun. After several hours, Mirazai's shuttle finally docks with the Roguetrader's void ship. Of the group that was sent to the planet's service, only the Xenos returned, covered in blood from head to toe, with a smug, snake-like smile on his face, having evidently enjoyed what happened. Mirazai hands the Lord Captain a blood-soaked trophy. Archaeotech fusion gun. Deal an additional plus 60% damage to burning enemies. That's crazy, because on the low end, 25, that would jump up to 27. Or 37, I mean. That's pretty good. And it has almost pure armor penetration. That's pretty cool. And we got a bunch of Xeno artifacts. Okay. I thought it was going to be more than that, but... yeah, let's do contracts. People for Promethium and chemicals, sure. Caligos Winterscale has found out that the secret of gas factoriums have been stolen from him. However, he is willing to leave that unfortunate incident in the past, offering the prospect of much greater gains. He is now captivated by the idea of seizing House Corda's Nephium rigs on the frozen world of Lucen's Breath. For Caligos himself, it would appear the profit is a mere side benefit of the opportunity to massacre large numbers of House Corda's servants in planetary battles. He is offering to pay with the aforementioned priceless flammable liquid in exchange for the fighting force he is desperately lacking. Okay. Complete. There you go. Profit for phlogiston. I'm good now. So, no. Chemicals for plasteel, no. Weapons for provisions, no. Okay. We'll just do that one. Okay. We're good there. Did I get anything new? This? Add shields to each side. I'm good. Okay. If I can close. Sorry, it was broken for a second. There you go. I think that's everything for this. So we'll jump. We'll jump out again. Okay. And now all red are orange, which is kind of cool. What's here? Unforeseen event. Okay. The Lady Navigator has been waiting for you on the bridge for half a watch cycle now. You see, because of her presence, the officers... I believe Lady Cassia wishes to speak about something very important. Her unease is spreading to those around her. Okay. What's up, Cassia? Is something wrong? wish I could have actually went to Dargonis to deal with them because I wanted another fight against them, unless this is just going to lead up to another one, but otherwise we just killed them all and we didn't even get to see it. But okay. We must speak now. What's up? I've given much thought to all that has happened and to us. Perhaps you do indeed have feelings for me. Perhaps I have feelings for you in turn, but we are not meant to become something more. A time will come when my duty to House Orcelio will call upon me, and you have already been summoned to do your duty to the God Emperor and to your protectorate. Would it not be better then if we ended things now? Have I done something? No. Have I not convinced enough? Is renouncing one's duty truly the only way to be with another person? Is this what you want? Does it not perturb you that I'm a wretched mutant? No! People go mad when they're near me, they die. I could kill you by accident. I could have died in the past a great many times, but I'm still here. No. Why can't you understand? I'm a navigator, a mutant. I'm nothing but a tool in his hands. Let me tell you about what I see. Do all that. It's too sappy for me. I don't get this. No, ew, gross. Relationships, people loving you, ew, gross. Ew. I'll let her sleep. There you go. It's sad though. Oh, gotta bring real life issues into a video game. Why? Ew. Insecurity and feeling like a monster. Ew, gross. Ick.
To what do I owe this visit?
Nothing yet.
My humble gift was to your liking? This pleases me. Too many colors. The hues flicker and intersperse, merging into a single wave. It's about to crash.
Okay. That's not good. Wolfar. God. I will get your name at some point, Wolfar. I'm sorry. Oh. There's just so many names to remember and so many things. Plus, there's everything outside of this game, like the actual lore, that I gotta remember too. It's just a lot. Oh. Ice World. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, looks like maybe new plants just popped up. Scan. Scan. Scan it. I got new augmented auger components. Poop. Poopy doop. Anything new? No. Yes. Maybe. I should do that. That's a good reminder. I gotta trade stuff in with the Drusians, and then I'll go trade in stuff with the Fellowship of the Void, and then Imperial Navy got a bunch of respect, so I should get new stuff for my ship. Yeah. It's over here. Is there anything new here? Yes, there is. Sad thing is, the DLC came out after I'd already made my character. I guess I could try to respec my character, but then that might just mess everything up, so... And then... Drusians. Cost. Hide untradeable. I need to get like to 40,000. I don't know if I can do that. Because I need... Well, I could get there. Yeah, I could get there right now, actually. I'll just keep going, though. That should be enough, hopefully. Heavy Flamer. Whenever the wearer suffers a trauma in combat, and they have more than 0 wounds, they immediately gain 21 wounds. And I get more dodge if they have high weapon skill. Infernal Pistol Shot. Whenever the wielder kills an enemy with this weapon, Veil Degradation is reduced by -2. This does more damage. Blah blah blah. Okay. Then we'll go here. See, yep, we got a bunch. Go open those later. With you, we got Foe Hammer. Whenever the wearer has 2 melee weapons equipped, they gain +10 weapon skill and critical damage. And then... what does it do? Nothing, it's just a little bit better than a Splinter Pistol, okay. Cost, what do you want? Xeno artifacts, okay. How many do I have? I must have got so much from Camera. Holy crap. That should be good enough. There you go. Explorators are high up there. So we should be good there. And then you guys. Death from Above does 36 mental damage. Yeah, she wants that. Each made with a blade dance increases the wearer's critical hit chance by 6% until the end of Where's next turn? His rifle deals more damage to Drukhari enemies. Well, that's great now that we're out. In the first round of combat, the wearer gains a number of additional attacks equal to their psi rating. And this devastating 12. First one costs 1 less. Okay. Well, that's gonna go on her. Cost. Boop, 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 boop. I'm just leaving like 1 or 2 of everything just in case I come across something that needs that. There you go. Stardy's pistol, that'll be good for him. Advanced med kits. If the wearer has melee weapons equipped in both hands, their slash ability makes an additional melee attack with the secondary weapon. If the wearer target is suffering from bleeding, the wearer's melee attack deals an additional +2 damage for each point of the target's agility bonus. Might be good on Mirazai. Every second use of the Psyker's staff's unique psychic power deals +8 additional damage. Laughing God Pendant. Oh, that's cool. The wearer gains Dance Macabre. Blah blah blah. After the first use of the assassin can use it again for free. So I can just jump around. For each target hit by the flamer's attack, the power of burning inflicted by a flamer's attacks increases by +3 until end of combat. Pretty cool. +15% dodge if the wearer's agility is more than 70 and he's immune to burning, toxin, and bleeding. Whenever the wearer performs a single target attack with a two-handed melee weapon, it deals more damage. Okay. Automatically passes coercion tests. That's insane. There are 3 copies of the shield. Yeah, we got another one. So it's 2 we have out of 3. Wearer's attacks ignore cover efficiency. Each critical hit scored with this weapon inflicts 3 levels of warp burn. This sword deals an additional +1 damage. Blah blah blah. Might be good on him. There you go, so now we should be able to do this. 45,000 for him. Okay. Never mind. He's 60,000. Okay. I got this, but I didn't do tools for killing, which isn't here, so must be at a different planet. Tools for killing. Oh, it's here. We can do that next. Alright. Well, I'm gonna gear everyone up, and then we're going to head around for different side quests, make our way away from Footfall, because we don't want to accidentally go there. We're probably going to go to Variable 6 if we can in the next episode to get back. I always forget his name. The Adeptus Arbites guy. Because then we can get him back and have Glato back as well. And then we'll see how it goes from there. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a nice day. Peace.